Half a century ago, 250,000 people marched in Washington, D.C. for jobs and freedom. It was a day that would change the course of a nation. Thousands did the same Wednesday to commemorate the date. In 1963, they stood along the reflecting pool, facing the Lincoln Memorial, to hear speakers like Martin Luther King Jr. talk of civil rights for blacks. Wednesday, in 2013, they heard the words of King's descendants, 2 former presidents, and the nation's first black president.
Because they marched, America changed for you and for me. And the entire world drew strength from that example.
The man at the center of that example 50 years ago was the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. The March on Washington and King's iconic I Have a Dream speech was the motivation for changes of attitudes and laws. It led to the Civil Rights Act the following year that outlawed discrimination, and the Voters' Rights Act a year later.
This must become true. So let freedom ring.
At the same time that King delivered those words 50 years ago, the King family heirs rang a bell that joined bells across the country. The bell had symbolism, too. It survived a bombing of a Southern black church just 2 weeks after the King's speech. 4 young girls died. Speakers said the bell tolled now for a recommitment to King's dream. Kevin Williams has lived through these changing times. He is 52 years old.
So that means that I was born in 1961. 100 years before that, the Civil War started. Right? And at 2 years old, this wonderful speech occurred. I wasn't aware then, but at 52 now, I'm looking at the benefits for everyone that the first 50 years made, and I'm trying to dedicate myself to the next 50.
Bill Clinton.
Former President Bill Clinton urged the crowd to action.
It is time to stop complaining and put our shoulders against the stubborn gates holding the American people back.
That challenge is now up to the young, who learn about anti-discrimination laws in textbooks, like Kiara Williams, who spent 10 hours on a bus to be here.
It's also a start of our generation, my generation. It's time for us to continue the legacy because the struggle still continues, so that's why I'm here.
President Obama said while much progress has been made, the civil rights struggle has unfinished business in economic equality, asking, what good is it to sit at the same lunch counter when you cannot afford the lunch? Carolyn Presutti, VOA News, Washington.
50 years ago, fire